On October 7th, the world was turned upside down as members of the terrorist organization known as Hamas infiltrated Israel, slaughtered over 1,200 Israelites, injured thousands more, and kidnapped almost 250 innocent men, women, and children. Relative to the population of Israel to the United States, this would be like our 9/11 multiplied by a factor of 10. And yet the attacks still continue day by day as rockets are launched into Israel and terrorists jump out of cars and open fire on innocent people in the middle of cities across the country. If you've ever asked yourself why these things are happening and what this will turn into, then you might want to check out the new book, The New Hamas, The Great Organized Chaos and the Coming of Mashiach by Rabbi Shapira. I was sent a copy to review, and this is what I have to say about it. A native-born Israeli, Rabbi Shapira felt the pain of what has now been called the Black Sabbath attacks on October 7th on a deeply personal level. According to Shapira, as soon as he learned of the tragedy, he locked himself away to pray, fast, and dig into the Torah for 3 days in order to understand the reason and significance behind the event. This book is essentially the result of that time of seclusion as he searched for meaning to this event. What he determined is that this war is more than simply a physical battle between Israel and Hamas, but an ancient spiritual war that has been waging throughout the ages. It's a war Israel is waging against Amalek, the quintessential enemy of Israel made manifest through hate. Although Israel may have defeated the physical descendants of Amalek long ago, the spirit of Amalek is alive and well in our day. It seeks to destroy the Jewish people, to wipe them from the face of the earth. Everywhere you turn, especially after October 7th, there are people all over the world calling for the genocidal eradication of the Jewish people. And while they're chanting and parading, the world sits by idly. In the book of Jeremiah, we read, "Alas, the day is so great, there is none like it. It is a time of distress for Jacob, yet he shall be saved out of it." Jeremiah 30, verse 7. This time is known as Jacob's trouble, a time of great calamity upon the Jewish people. Well, according to Rabbi Shapira and others, this event on October 7th, we are currently experiencing at least some portion of the time of Jacob's trouble and need to know what to do in our current circumstances. Shapira sees all of these events intricately connected to the Torah and other Jewish writings that at least foreshadow, if not prophetically foretell, the plight of both Israel and the world as a whole. He delves into the Hebrew Scriptures and finds connections between what God reveals to us in His Torah, what has already transpired, and what is yet to come. He links specific terminology to key concepts that are crucial to understanding the present state of matters in the world. For instance, one of the key terms that many people are familiar with since the October 7th massacre is that the word Hamas means violence in Hebrew. However, other Hebrew words take on significance when put into context. Terms such as gader, which means fence, or yiznav, which means tail, or mar, bitterness, or gezel, forceful robbery or kidnapping. According to Shapira, all of these terms and many others that are found in key passages within the Torah and rabbinical writings reveal important insights into what is currently happening in Israel. Although he draws from entirely different source material, the conclusion Shapira draws from his research is very similar to the work Hechaltzu by Rabbi Shalom Dovber Schneerson of Lubavitch. Hechaltzu is a treatise against sinat chinam, baseless hatred, based on the Lord's instructions to Moses in Numbers 31 to take up arms against Midian. Hechaltzu is said to, quote, deal with the spiritual roots of baseless hatred, its cosmic repercussions, and its attainable remedies. The New Hamas by Rabbi Shapira also takes a look at the problem of sinat chinam, baseless hatred, and infighting among spiritual brothers and sisters as the force that tore down the fence that protected Israel and allowed the enemy to infiltrate among God's people. Here are some highlights from the book addressing this subject. When Israel fights against itself, the spirit of Amalek has an open door to come in, attack, and even destroy Israel, from page 17. Baseless hatred opened the fence, not Hamas. The baseless hatred took the protection from Israel, page 21. Please make no mistake, Israel's war is not against the Palestinian people, nor is it against the Muslim world. Hamas is a mask for the real enemy of Israel, Amalek itself, in a battle from the foundation of the world. The nature of the war of the spirit of Amalek against the Jewish people is not a regular battle, but rather a battle that comes to destroy the spirit of Israel or to destroy them from within by dividing them among themselves. This is pages 26 and 27. And possibly my favorite quote of the book says, "Our soul's ability to ascend into the heavenly realms by overcoming our flesh and living according to the Spirit is the ultimate victory over Edom and Amalek," page 77. Well, this book not only offers insights into the spiritual battle that is taking place right now, but offers the hope that these events are merely the labor pains before the return of our Master Yeshua. These terrible events are not the end, but they should cause all of God's people to cry out in prayer and repentance in order to set the stage for our King's return. Overall, I think this book offers a spiritual perspective into what is going on amid the terrible tragedies that happened beginning on October 7th and continue to this day. My only criticism is one that might frustrate a lot of readers. Rabbi Shapira writes in true rabbinic style in that when he quotes a passage from rabbinic sources, he never cites his source, but expects the reader to be familiar with the reference. Unfortunately, most of those who are either currently reading this book or will be reading it in the future will never have been to yeshiva and aren't intimately acquainted with the sources that he's quoting and have no way to verify what is being quoted. So, my recommendation is that he would eventually publish an update with these references included in the text. It would be extremely helpful and help others to continue the course of study that he has helped us to embark on. So, if you want to pick up your own copy of Rabbi Shapira's book, The New Hamas, The Great Organized Chaos and the Coming of Mashiach, you have two options right now. You can purchase the Kindle version from Amazon using the link below, or a print version from Rabbi Shapira's website in the link below as well. Unfortunately, the print version of this book isn't available on Amazon because Amazon is holding it hostage, evidently because the title appears to be connected to Hamas in a way that they don't like. However, he was able to have copies printed independently, and you can order these directly from his website. He also has Spanish, Italian, French, German, and Portuguese translations that Amazon has not allowed to go to print either. So please pray for this book to be fully released by Amazon, which will allow a larger audience to have access to this important resource. I hope you enjoyed this review. I know everyone says it, but when you simply click on the like button, it really makes a difference. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I invite you to do so at this time. We'll see you this Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern with another messianic insight into the eternal Torah of God. Blessings from Emet HaTorah.